Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Adam Thomas, and today we're going to have a little look at some tattoos. Now out there, as you probably know, there's some tattoos that are incredible and there's some tattoos that are below average. There's a group of people out there that jump online, they buy themselves a cheap tattoo kit, commonly known as scratchers or kitchen wizards, that do tattoos. Sometimes that are incredible, most of the time they're incredibly bad. So let's jump straight into it. We've got a few that we're going to look at. We're going to get some reactions. We're going to go through what makes them, well, I was going to say what makes them good, but let's be honest, let's see what makes them bad. Roll the intro. So, let's open up the iPad. Let's get straight into it. Whoa! So, I don't think there's a lot of words that need to be said for this one. To be honest, once this heals, it's going to look a lot better than what it looks like now. All of that harsh red choppiness that's in there, that is going to settle down a lot. So it is going to, I want to say go to a grey, but there's every chance there's just going to be nothing there. The worst parts of all of this, the line work. I mean, if you're drawing a portrait on paper, you'd probably not, well, you shouldn't be putting all those heavy lines in. It should all just be soft shading, make it look as realistic as possible. I mean, if you're going for something that's supposed to be cartoony, style it out a little bit. Like, really go to town and make sure that's looking like it's supposed to look. This is just, yeah, it's just not good. So these ones, they knock around quite a lot. Tattoos that have got spelling mistakes. I mean, it's a common thing, fairly basic word like nothing. At first glance, you kind of miss it, but yeah, it's, I mean, the irony as well of what it says. Yeah, feel for the guy. So, one, this would hurt like, I mean, back tattoos are the best of times when I've been tattooing people's backs. 9 times out of 10, they don't sit particularly well anyway. It's a very sensitive place. But this has just been ripped to shreds, and that is a big area that's been covered. I mean, those lines, I mean, the lines are in, they're not going anywhere, but that shading, like 90% of that shading is completely pointless in the sense of it's just gonna hurt the client, and once it heals, none of that is gonna be there. It's a little bit like if you scratch your skin and it goes red, that's in essence all that's happened there. It's, yeah. And I mean, the size, moving forward from this, if you did want to ever get that covered up, one, you can't get it covered up, so you're only looking at laser, and laser is 100 times worse than what's been done to that back, and even that would have been horrific at the time. So these ones completely make me laugh every single time. There are hundreds and hundreds of mugshots online of people that have got these terrible face tattoos, and this is I think the best thing that I love about this is the fact that he's got a unibrow, which has been put in separate to those eyebrows. So that was a conscious extra thing that they wanted to add in to the tattoo. And to be fair, that handlebar moustache, now I do a lot of portraits when I tattoo, mainly portraits and roses, and I've got somewhere a picture of one of my first portraits that I ever did, which was the little Johnny Cash. A bit bigger than these. I'm not sure where that's supposed to be on the body. I'm thinking maybe there, or like the front of the leg, maybe below the knee. Either which way, I mean, we're looking like tiny size for these portraits. Again, it goes back to putting lines into portraits. It's just not going to work. It's just going to make him look crazy card, which is what's happened here. And because the details are so small, like the eyes and stuff, they're probably not a million miles off using the right liner to get the lines in, but they've just been battered in with solid black, and it's just horrible. I think the worst thing for me, by the looks of it, is they've tried to save it with some white, so shaded some white into the face. Yeah, it's made them look like they've dressed up for Halloween, for sure. Amazing. I mean, if you wanted to have a realistic eye tattooed on you, you need to find this guy. It's horrible, every which way you look at it. I mean, the basics of a tattoo are getting your line work sorted first. So when you first start, that's mainly like a lot of the tattoos that you're going to do, and just working on your line work and getting those shapes taken out. This isn't at that point. And again, the photo is really punched in, but I don't know where that is. It doesn't look particularly small based off like the marks that the tattoo's made into the skin. So it's a fairly decent size, but yeah, the colour is in the blue, the white and the black. None of that's been put in solid, so it's all going to drop out and go choppy, which is probably a good thing, because it's going to make it easier to cover up at some point. Which if you're happy with it, fair dues. But I mean, once that settles down, and a quick Google search of what like a realistic eye could look like, you're going to be pretty disappointed. So Jesus was Asian, apparently. Again, this has been battered in. The colouring of the skin at the bottom, which just looks like bruising, that shouldn't look like that. I mean, there's no major lines in the face, which is one good thing, but apart from that, there's no texture in the beard. The weird white highlights that are running through the hair, I mean, that's just been made up. The thorns are very flat, and that's again where the lines are really making a difference to that. The lines weren't there, it probably wouldn't look half as flat, but yeah, I'm hoping that where it's sat, it looks like maybe the top of the shoulder with them laid down, maybe, that it's distorting over the top of the shoulder, which is giving it that weird bend to the top of the forehead. Yeah, and the eyes, I mean, I've never met anyone that's got white irises. For me, if you're going to put white into a tattoo, it's got to be purposeful. So you shouldn't be trying to save a tattoo with white. White should only just enhance stuff, and you definitely don't put white where there isn't white in the piece. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know who it is. I mean, that's always like sort of one tick in the box of doing a tattoo. I was going to say good tattoo, but the contrast is the issue. I mean, that's not the issue. The issue is the whole tattoo. But yeah, nothing's been packed. There's heavy lines where there shouldn't be. There's no consistency in the line. So if you were trying to do like a cartoon version of it, there's no consistency, or there's no definition between like line work and power lines. I feel like this has been drawn on and potentially gone straight in with a tattoo machine, which is a big no-no. Mainly because if you try and do a tattoo without any sort of reference on the skin, when you're leaning and pushing and pulling the skin, that's gonna maybe look fine once the skin's stretched so you can get the tattoo in, but once you let go of that and it all springs back, it's just gonna throw all of your composition out the window. This looks really painful, in all honesty. Well, I've done a lot of tiger tattoos, I've done a lot of lion tattoos, and this is some sort of hybrid of the two by the looks of it. I mean, I presume it's supposed to be a lion, and that's supposed to be the mane. Why it's got tiger stripes, I don't really know. And to be honest, I don't really know why that's the major issue. I mean, the major issue is it's really surprised and happy look on the face. And again, I mean, this doesn't look too angry around the outside, so there's every potential this is a heel tattoo, which is one, really good in the fact that all that colour's stayed in for a start and it hasn't just dropped out. But on the flip side of that, the bad thing is that is a big tattoo. I mean, we're looking at the top of the shoulder and it's heavy colour, so yeah, the chances of getting rid of that with a cover up are pretty slim. Yeah, it's just a horrible tattoo. So I've seen this one quite a bit. This one is it's an interesting one, to be honest, because I don't know whether it's not very good because of the skill set of the artist, or whether it's supposed to be like that. So you might have seen knocking around, you get a lot of people that get tattoos that their children have drawn. So they're obviously intentionally supposed to look like a child's drawing. This is almost into that sort of area, in that the lines are kind of consistent considering how big it is. So they know potentially how to put a line in, and it's that far away from being a tiger that you kind of think no one could make that mistake. And the fact it is just the line work, and they haven't even attempted to colour in the stripes to make it black and grey or try to get any colour in. I mean, I'm trying to make excuses, I feel, for this. I mean, you're probably not gonna want a tattoo that big, even if your kid's drawn it the full height of your torso. You know, just get like a little memento sort of thing. But yeah, it's not something you're gonna want forever. Well, that's it, guys. That is just a little handful, a little taster of some bad tattoos that I found online. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. It's given you a little bit of a laugh. Hopefully it's opened your eyes up to what could potentially go wrong if you don't go to a proper tattoo artist. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to click the like button, subscribe to my channel. Hopefully you enjoyed my sexy new intro. With all that said, we'll see you on the next video. Peace.